All right, welcome everybody. This is your Team Prosperity Wednesday meeting, and I'm so excited to be here with Mike Amos. I've got some stuff that I want to go over, and I know that he's got a great presentation for us. So let me go ahead and get started. Thank you all for being here. We value your time and everybody that's taken the time to listen to the recording as well. This is a very, very exciting time for our business. April 29th, 2020. I can't believe that, April is almost over and May is almost here. So I hope that your business is exploding like ours is. And of course, we're here to help every step of the way. Me and Mike actually had the pleasure of doing the whole week of virtual financial training last week. Mike Hinsvark made us this cool little link that he sent out that had all three of our trainings, the Saturday, Thursday, and Tuesday night training. So if you need that, please let me know. I'd be happy to send it over if you missed any of those. Also, right after the Saturday training, we had that great triple threat training with all of the new great marketing and WealthWave tools. Mike is going to go more over that today for anybody that missed it. If you all need the link to review any of this stuff, please let me know. I'd be happy to email it over to you. I was really excited to hear that, as SMDs, you can actually have your own no-cost leadership channel. Another great reason to go on that sprint run and try to get your SVP SMD promotion as soon as possible. So I thought that was pretty cool. Definitely going to learn more about that. And another cool thing is they have great support, great chat. You can chat right there with them through your WealthWave. They also have a weekly training, which I thought is really, really valuable. You could see it actually runs for 30 minutes, and it starts about an hour before our Wednesday training starts. So if you need that information, let me know. I'd be happy to shoot over the email. Really, really cool stuff. So more and more I'm seeing that really this is our time. While every other business is scrambling and trying to learn how to be virtual, we're executing, we're exploding, we're growing like we've never grown before. So it really is our time. You can even see right here, like today, WFG is doing a webinar about how to run a business virtually. They still have, a lot, years and years and years of catching up to do. So we really couldn't be in a better spot. So that's why I said this really is our time. I had a little intro call twist that I wanted to talk to you all about because, of course, talking to people about the business and, the term upgrade question, that's great, but it's not going to work on everybody. I talked to this guy named David. He was captive and not ready to make a change. New York life insurance agents are not. They're all captive agents. So but we talked a little bit further about, doing the right thing for the client and always, working on behalf of the client. And because when agents are captive like that, they have a really small, list of products they can choose from. So they're only going to be offering, New York Life products. And he had somebody he couldn't place. They had a small budget. And he found somebody that could do it for $73, was $20 less than he could do it at New York Life for $93. Well, guess what? The Transamerica final expense was $20 less than that, so it was $53. We cut that off a little bit there. But anyways, what we provide is a great value, and he forwarded to his client. I followed up on it today. So you just never know if you get on that phone with somebody, what is it going to turn out to be. It could be a great source of referrals for you, even if they don't get into the business or if they don't have suitable need for a product. Because remember, in New York, they don't have living benefits. So even if you had a term, that was the only state that, really doesn't have upgrade potential. We've got the great IUL with long-term care, but not living benefits in New York. So anyways, if you haven't set up your Legacy Shield, definitely do. If you're writing business, you're paying, E&O, you're getting it all, of course, back if you have production. You should definitely register for Legacy Shield. It's part of what you get on the WFG platform. Here's a cool little step-by-step that Mike made. Basically go to WFG My Business, go to Salesforce, hit the menu, find Legacy Shield, and go ahead and do your advisor registration there. Should be pretty straightforward. And then Julie's doing annuities training on Friday at noon, which is this upcoming Friday, May 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, so the same time as right now. We're going to be putting the stuff in the group because Julie's securities license, that's not something we can post on like Facebook. We'll be able to send it out to licensed agents as needed, as requested after it's over. So if you can be there live, that would be fantastic. We'll send out the link closer to the time that we have it, and we'll definitely send an email reminder and put a reminder in the Facebook group as well. So really, all we have is now. Like, I'm so excited for this time in history, for our team, our business. I'm a really, really strong believer that, you know, there's only now, that your future is absolutely created by what you do today and working, right? That's how we get it. And I love this little picture about this guy parking his boat and his other boat. Obviously, the time to take action is right now. So anyways, I'm super excited to bring up Mike. Give me just 1 second to get him. Thank you so much.
Okay, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I just want to go through some stuff today. I've segmented out this particular meeting to go through one particular part of our overall trilogy, our model, whatever it is that you want to call it. So let me pull this up. You know, we've got a great opportunity, as Alana was saying, to really go out there and, you know, hit some hyper speed growth, hit some exponential growth, hit some viral growth, whatever you want to call it. And remember, in our business model, once you attain that type of growth, there's nothing that's going to stop you. You've got a huge IMO to absorb the growth. You're not going to have to come out of pocket for infrastructure assets to set this up. So full speed ahead right now, guys. Take advantage of where we are and position yourself. Remember, one of my favorite sayings by Wayne Gretzky, you know, when he was playing hockey, he skates to where the puck's going to be, not where the puck is right now. Think about that in your business. Act as if you've got an agency of 1,000, because that can happen. And the confidence that that gives you in starting to visualize that on the phone, in marketing, will help you out tremendously. But also, law of attraction, you start thinking about that stuff, starts to happen. So we went through this in the Saturday company meeting, setting up the triple threat WealthWave marketing event. But you need to understand what your partners do and how they, you know, all form your business model. So WealthWave, Virtual Financial, and WFG. WealthWave provides some things we're going to talk about today. Virtual Financial is your brand. That's your company. That's your disruption. That's, you know, the brains of what we're doing, the innovation, and all that comes along with that. World Financial Group is the IMO platforms. They handle the admin, you know, they absorb our growth. They handle the stuff that as an entrepreneur I always hated doing. So that's perfect placement. They can absorb our growth, but you won't catch me advertising for WFG, because you know, that would be the same if we owned a business and we started to advertise for our payroll processor. Doesn't make any sense. You're Virtual Financial. And on the front side today, I want to talk a little bit about WealthWave in terms of what does WealthWave mean for you and your business? Well, it provides two important key parts in the front end of that funnel. It provides some great marketing, great look, great organization, great back end to organize everything that you want to do and stay in front of people with what we want, positive interactions that contain information, education that will help them. But it also gave us our mission in the marketplace, how money works, financial literacy, the employee to entrepreneur. There's a lot of things embedded in that, but it gives you an upfront marketing look, and it gives you your mission combined together, makes you look good. Like I said, it keeps you organized, and it keeps things flowing from those contacts with information that you may hit somebody at the right time, the right place, where they start to raise their hand. Yeah, I want to talk about this, whether it's, you know, partner, whether it's client. That's the key. So, you know, it will take you a little bit of time to get used to the WealthWave 360 system. Go in there, get used to it, trip over yourself. But once you learn it, it's going to be a key component. Once WealthWave does its job in terms of the marketing or the mission and gets into that front end of the funnel that we call the Tier 1 contact, WealthWave is essentially done. From that point forward, you are using our system, you're using our assets, you're using the tiers to do what we need to do for a company. And like I said, WFG will absorb that growth. So today I want to talk a little bit about what happened this past weekend at the Triple Threat. Now, if you went to the Triple Threat, you're on the Tuesday meeting, you might be a little tired of this, but I want to make sure you guys understand how this fits into your business model. Your instant contact and sharing is here. So the era of digital business is here. We're ready. Digital is not an option. We've been preaching that for many years. People were laughing at us. Now our time's here. It won't be going back to business as usual. We always talk about that. So, when you're looking at a business opportunity, if I could show you a button that you could hit, make the conditions perfect for you to become successful in this business, would you press it? Because what we have, the client need creates the business opportunity, and what we do with WealthWave, Virtual, and WFG as a trilogy, really in our world, we go out and service that client need in a much better, more efficient, more exponential way. And remember, right now, you've got people worried. You've got people worried about money. You've got people worried about their investments. And an 11-year bull market run where you could just put money away and it constantly grows, nobody cares about protections and guarantees. They forgot the pain of the two biggest drops since the 2000s. Now we're in our third bear market. The other two were brutal. This one's still unknown. So remember, guys, when you're out there, education leads to conversations. Conversations uncover information that leads us to problems that we can offer solutions and action steps. The 2020 started, and you can see this red mark over here. So all hell basically broke loose a couple of months ago in a lot of different areas of our life, including our investments, including our retirement planning. And it's notorious that things like this happen because I think it was in late December, early January, I was reading that we're at an all-time high in the number of millionaires with 401ks and IRAs. As soon as that kind of publication starts hitting, notoriously things start to happen. So people are looking for answers. People are looking for ways to make sure they don't get wiped out. And it's times like this right now that remind people, like we said, to have the protection they need and get that in place, both on the protection side but on the accumulation side as well. And when you understand what we do from the product side on protection and accumulation and what people need, why they need it, and how to approach certain people with messages, there's a lot of people that need our help, guys. And there's, 250 books that have been delivered, another 250,000 that are pre-ordered. So this is a legitimate marketing leg that you can develop. I know this week that, Alana and myself have already been in the post office for us. We've been in the post office for Michael Eisbrenner. So if you guys are getting these books out, the first thing that you need to realize is, yes, it is a legitimate marketing leg that you can set up that will add income, revenue, growth. However, just like anything, if you were going to start a cold call campaign, you need 90 days to build a pipeline. You need a number of books to build a pipeline. You're not going to hand out 7 books and say, oh, this doesn't work, when your response to somebody who did not read the book is, okay, just call me when you get through it. You've got to make sure you develop language, verbiage, follow-up that gets back in front of these people. You've given them something of value, you mailed them out a book, follow up, and help them out. It's important to everyone. Money is all the time, especially now. That never changes. Even though people say, oh, money's not important to me. Well, it's got to be because we live around an environment where money is very, very important to the things that we do day to day and setting ourselves up for the future. So even though people say that, what they're really saying is, I don't know about money. I'm scared of it, so I'm just going to ignore it. And remember, you're in the business of teaching people how money works. If you get into the mindset of not, I need to make a sale, I need to have, X income this Tuesday, and you get in the mindset of actually serving people, helping people, the money will follow. The more people you can serve, the more people that you can help, the more legs of marketing you can develop that are addressing the needs of financial literacy and how money works, the more money you're going to make. That's a simple fact. And then the E to E. So now you're in the business of introducing people to entrepreneurism. And that's a big deal, guys. This is the golden age of the entrepreneur. We've talked about this before, all the tools, platforms, data that's available. This is somebody's moment. And if you're making the jump, or if you remember when you made the jump, it's scary because that false sense of security as a W-2 employee, now going out, now having everything hinge on your ability to go out there and create something from nothing, it's a big jump. It's scary, but people need to know on our platform, they've got a ton of help. So making that bridge over is easier than ever with us. So once again, the E to E is another way that you can go out and create a mission and develop people around, education information that you send out that starts to, like we always say, have somebody from the other side raise their hand and say, yeah, I want to talk to you about this. I'm interested. And the financial industry, our business did well during the boom times of the last few years. It's doing very well during the downturn. So we do well in good times. We do well in bad times. Our industry is recession-proof, inflation-proof, market-proof, economy-proof, unemployment-proof, even pandemic-proof now. So you guys are at a good place, a good time, good industry. Just put the pieces together, work on it, and watch what happens. How money works is important. There's never been a better time to be a financial entrepreneur. So all of these things are just reinforcing that, A, whether I've been in here a day, a year, or a few years, I made a good choice. And B, the things that are coming online for us right now give you such a good look, give you such a good presence. All you've got to do out there is go out there and be active and put it together. Share the books. Education first, mission only. We talked about that. Get in the habit of serving people, serving families, teaching people. They say use the mailman. That's all I really use outside of family members. But get the books out. And if you have questions about the books, have questions about distributing the books, how to follow up, just ask us. We're in a place where you can reinvent yourself, reimagine yourself, relaunch yourself, grow your activity, max out this moment. Dreams don't have recessions. That's important. We talked about how many millionaires a couple months ago were created during the Great Depression. It's not about the economic activity as a macro event. It's about what you can do during times to keep your dreams alive, have the activity, have the grit to see it through. And this right here, I'm firmly convinced, because when I came into this industry, it was stale, stagnant. A lot of it is still stale and stagnant, but you're about to see the finest, most advanced, simple-to-use digital system ever developed for developing clients and building and leading teams. Remember, two parts of the business, client, partner. You can build both of them in an exponential way. Watch out. Our education focuses on two main areas. We teach people how money works. We teach them how to become entrepreneurs. And with this crisis, people need both of those more than ever, you guys. So if you're out there contacting people, and we always talk about this as well, in this environment, not the smartest, not the most educated, not the person with the best background in the industry, most contacts wins right now. And when you're looking at launching your new digital tools, you've got the How Money Works, E2E, WealthWave, presentations, masterclass, video store. This is going to give you what you need in the marketing environment as well as the industry environment, which is ways to stay in front of people with positive interactions, educational material that continues to put them in a position where they might have interest in making buying moves. They might have interest in making partner moves. So it's all there for you. Learn it. It's a little overwhelming in the beginning, like anything. Put a little time into it. Once you mastered it, what it's going to do for you is incredible. All of this is going to pass. The virus is going to pass. This time is going to pass. The rest of the industry will start putting things together to catch up. But that first mover advantage that we have as Virtual Financial, combined with some of the mission, the marketing of WealthWave, puts us in a great, opportunity to really go out there and, like we always talk about, do a lot of good, have that positive ripple effect, make a ton of money as well. History's here to be made. It's right now, David Chase posted an article in the Facebook group a week or so ago that what's happened right now is taking this digital transformation, digital disruption, and, kind of warped it 5 years into the future. So what we were expecting in 2025 is here right now. What that means for you in a virtual model is that, hey, it's time to get to work now because you've got even more of an ability to create that velocity due to what's going on macro speaking. And the How Money Works educator sites, if you're going to educate your clients, if you're going to educate your partners, that's going to put them in way better positions to make buying decisions or to make partner decisions coming in versus coming out with sales, company pitches. That's what everybody does, and it gets ignored. We, as a team, we learn from people like Gary Vee. You got to give value if you want something back of value from the other side. That's what we've been trying to do. And what I want to stress to you guys right now is that the WealthWave system gives you a golden opportunity, a plug-and-play opportunity to go out there and do just that. It gives you all these great characters. So if you've handed out a book and now you can go in and make that book come to life, they're going to, oh, yeah, I remember him. I remember her. And once again, we talked about this before. The thing that made me really understand the power of this book is when Steve Siebold told a story about World War II. We needed fighter pilots. You got these young guys coming out, and they were given these manuals. They were very dry, boring, and they weren't getting through them. They weren't getting trained well enough to keep up with the need for the pilot. So what they did is they went back and they rewrote the manual in a comic book-like way, and they were getting fighter pilots just, tremendously increased the velocity of people ready to go out in the battlefield. Same thing here. People are financially illiterate, so we're not going to give them a book that's overwhelming with terms and jargon they don't understand. It's a comic book-like read that helps get the information in a very compressed format that gives you the opportunity to now take that and expand on that, which is a big, big deal. It's colorful, it's fun, it's easy breezy, it's got all of these things. So understand the combination of what we're doing with physical books, mailing them out, and then the back end of how those characters come to life, how the concepts come to life. It's just reinforcing what we do on the mission side, how money works, financial literacy. So all these things are going to give you a great presence online and the ability to interact with people in a very positive, value-based way. 7 money milestones, it invites people to take a look at the timeline, invites them to take a look at where they are, and it invites us to interact with those people to help them fill in the rest of those money milestones, starting with what's important to them. So the book invites interaction, and the book sets people up so that you can come in and help them with the next steps. Also, you've got, the How Money Works Challenge. You've got the Rule of 72, $1 Million Baby, 7 money milestones. This book is about educating people, changing their lives, and from the help that we give them, of course, we get paid to do that through the product providers. And you've also got the financial literacy. Now, this is going to be changing, but the financial literacy game, the questions, these are all ways to do what we want to do in the marketplace, which is build an audience, engage an audience, then when appropriate, sell the audience. The engagement part, you guys just got a big boost here. It's encouraging engagement, it's encouraging education, it's doing everything that we want to do. Also, Rule of 72, remember, these simple concepts that most people don't know, when you present that in them to a way that's easy to understand, gives them examples, and shows them the difference in the way that a money can grow over periods of time, light bulbs go off. I didn't know that. I'm getting ripped off by my bank. My CD's paying me nothing, whatever it might be. So remember, education opens mindsets, and from open mindsets, conversations get deeper and get to the point where we are ready to make action steps on the other side. $1 Million Baby. Remember, guys, when you're out there talking to people, wealth begins at birth. It's easy to save small amounts of money early in life and have that grow, and people need to know that. The problem is that middle class and that poor mindset gets passed down, and people don't know these concepts. They don't know how to get ahead. Of course, if you talk to any parent, they want a better life for their children. One of the ways they can do that is from the education that we give them. Start your child off. Give them a head start. Give them everything that you didn't have in life, which opens up more opportunities and choices for them. Compound interest, the time of money, wealth protection, all of this is very, very important. And when you understand this for yourself and then understand how to apply these concepts to younger generations, it starts to break in the family tree and create new lines that have wealth, that have legacy, and that have opportunities to go out there and make choices, like I said, that most of us did not have. Can you save $1 million for your child? What would it take over periods of time, and what does it look like? $1 million versus 300, that's a big deal. Also, the 7 money milestones. Don't go at it alone. Where are we? How do we get to the next steps? How do we make sure that we've got everything in place so that we are prepared for the worst as well as the best possible outcomes in the future? Also, global literacy is a big deal. I don't have to, talk to you guys about this. We're trying to eradicate financial illiteracy worldwide. Read the book, attend the class, become an educator. There's a lot of different ways that somebody can get the information they need, but also become involved in the mission and the cause that we have. You also have the ability to go out instantly and bring that rapport, trust, credibility to what you do and to what we do as a whole. Remember, they talked about this as a triple threat marketing event. They might not have any idea who you are, who WealthWave is, who Virtual Financial is, what the book's all about, but they do know CNBC, they do know Fox, they do know CBS, and from, you've got a whole library here. Now, this was interrupted because of COVID-19. It will continue once the virus passes. They'll go back on their media tour, but this will continue to fill up. TV appearances, write-ups, that's all, like I said, giving you that credibility in the marketplace that you're looking for. And quite frankly, guys, I don't come from an insurance background. when I did get into this business, I started to do some research on the most successful people in the industry. And you know how they sell product? They sell product before they even meet somebody. And that's from publications, that's from things online that give them the level of expertise. So by the time somebody talks to that person, they've already been inundated with them, and they've got that level of expertise built in. So they're ready to listen and they're ready to take the advice versus being an agent or advisor coming out pitching, selling. So a lot of what they do, individual basis, has just been done for you on an organizational basis. Articles and interviews, more about, bringing that trust, credibility, building that rapport, getting that education. Oh, these guys were on CNBC, they were on this, they were on that. It does a lot for you instantly. And then don't forget, when you're talking about concepts and when you're talking about information that's going to lead people to making decisions, and those include buying decisions or decisions on ways to change your life, there's plenty of ways that we can get to them. And then also, more videos, you've got characters that come to life. So, yes, this is a lot. They'll be adding more, but just learn it, guys, and watch what happens to your business. You've got the videos that come to life in there. Characters are segmenting out, certain parts of the book. Under, 2 minutes is great for a video. So a video at 42 seconds does its job perfect. And you've got different ways that people can explore, or you can send out different types of kits, different types of media, different types of information that will be beneficial to you, your business, and your growth, both on the client and the partner side. We talk about in the past, you've got a couple of different types of clients. You've got the regular client, and minimal information for them to absorb is where you want to go. We also talk about, hey, we have the sponge as well, and that sponge wants a lot of information. So they want access to master classes after some intro information. Great. We've got that. The How Money Works master class. You got part 1, realities and concepts for financial education. You've got the cast that comes to life. You've got to start thinking like the wealthy. Even if we're, flat broke right now, just like what I talked about, thinking about having an agency of 1,000 if you're brand new, thinking about being in a wealthy position versus being broke. Those are important parts of your mindset that you have to develop because of the laws of attraction. So we don't want to think like a sucker. We want to think like the wealthy. And we talk about an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. We're just reinforcing our concepts, our vehicles, our strategies, and our overall approach to money. And, W.C. Fields, it's morally wrong to allow a sucker to keep his money. That's how the financial industry looks at the regular consumer. So you're up against a lot as a typical, middle-class American now financially, but we want to bring concept, strategies, vehicles, and information to you that breaks that cycle. It sucks up your time. It sucks up your freedom. It sucks up your income. The word sucker is a strong word. So you have to understand why that word is used and what it really means for our clients if they don't get the education and financial literacy they need. What we think about, we bring about. Your reality largely depends on how you think about money. So that's where we start. And, financial literacy is a problem, simple concepts that we can give, ways that we can create new branches in the family tree of wealth, legacy, and opportunities. And all this is very important because you keep pushing this stuff out. We haven't talked about buying anything. We haven't talked about being recruited. We've basically been talking about ways to improve the lifestyle of you and generations below you by simple things that you can start doing now. So literacy, financial literacy, all of this is important. What we do, our mission, our cause, the fact that Americans are struggling, and we put up these statistics all the time, but if you look at this and then you look at an average American's budget, there's ways that they can make simple changes, convert $100, $200 a month where they were wasting into savings, into retirement planning, into asset accumulation, and over periods of time of 10, 20, 30 years, makes a big, big difference. People make simple mistakes by just not knowing basic financial concepts. They lose $1,200, almost 20% lost $2,500. You plug that into a future value calculator and give yourself X percentage per year, makes a big difference over time. So, people are worried about money. They think about money. But when things get bad, they just tend to ignore the situation. So what we want to do is present money management in an easy-to-follow concept and vehicle that anyone can grab a hold of and start digesting and asking questions. And remember, those questions are exactly what you want as the advisor agent because those questions open up additional conversation and information. The sucker cycle. So it traps people in the cycle. That paycheck, they give it away, they do all these things, including low interest savings account. So they're making the money, and then other people are taking advantage of their money. Sucker gets a paycheck, hands the money to somebody else, who then builds wealth with the sucker's money. We want to inverse that process and make sure that if we're working hard for our money, which most everybody is, we want that client to understand we as a company want their money to work as hard for them as they did to earn it. And typical spending habits, there's definitely ways that we can extract money out of a budget by making simple changes, nothing too dramatic. And then we also are able to show them, hey, are you on track? Are you going to be able to live in retirement? How long could you live with this standard of living? And because just ignoring the situation until you get to it, you can't plan for the future in the future. And that's a big deal, and that's what we do, where you can see across the board there's not much money saved up. So we've got a big mission, a big cause, and this is what you guys need to get behind, because here is where they are. And if you can show somebody how to get there, all of a sudden, eyes open up, they get excited, I'm interested. How suckers think, how the wealthy think. It's dramatically different. We're trying to flip the mindset of a typical what's classified as a sucker into the wealthy. This doesn't have to be done with money. This is done with concept, strategies, and mindsets at the very beginning. Power of compound interest is a big deal. The difference between things that you're talking about between like simple and compound interest, most people don't know that. When it's explained to them, lights go off. So Rockefeller lent $50 to a local farmer. The money was to be paid on 7% interest. A year later, the farmer returned the $50 plus $3.50 interest. Around the same time, Rockefeller was hired to dig potatoes for 3 days. Rockefellers were paid $112. So you learn how other people look at money. You look at defining lessons that other people have learned and taken and built wealth, and you learn from those people. You're working for your money, and like we just talked about, your money needs to work as hard as you work for it on the front end, on the back end, to make it grow. So you've got different ways to think about money, and like we just talked about, simple interest versus compound interest. So once people understand that interest can make interest and the compound interest and what that does over long periods of time, light bulbs go off. Well, how do I do this? How do I take advantage of that? Let me show you. Simple interest right here versus compound interest. And you're talking about major differences. So client, Mr. and Mrs. Client, if I can show you a way that you can have this much, or this much at retirement, which makes more sense to you, A, B, or C, or which would you like? And look at the following curves. So this is all just stuff that in the book, in the stuff that you're going to send out, is educating people to the point where they either understand it or they have questions and they're going to come back to you. If they understand it, great, let's move on to the next section, which is identifying some plays that we can help you on the client side. Or if you got questions, I can answer those, and it leads to the same results here. Your rate of return matters, and this is important. Remember, we talk about this. If you're earning less than 1% CDs, savings, money markets, getting taken advantage of by the bank. If you want the same protection and a decent rate of return, we've got vehicles that can do that. For non-qualified money, we've got ways that you can look at qualified money. So most people have a mindset where right now in this environment, they either have to have the protection and accept a low rate of return, or they have to risk the protection and the safety of their principal to get a decent return. It's not like that. And once again, education opens mindsets. How suckers think, how wealthy think, you just keep imploring that and just keep beating that in people's heads to the point where they start to switch, the light switch goes off, and now what they do and how they act is different because the mindset has changed. How long are you going to have to save? This is a big one. How long do I have to save money, and how much do I need to save to reach my goal? Well, obviously, the longer you wait in life, the worse it gets in terms of that monthly obligation. So we always want to teach people, if somebody started late, hey, well, let's take a look at what's happening in your life. If you have kids, let's get them on a better track going forward than you had. And that starts with $1 million baby. This is a big part of what you can do. Remember, the gift of a future is enormous. Only 20% of children receive inheritance. I was talking to Alana about this over the weekend. Her and I stand to receive nothing. So a lot of people are in our similar situation. So we have to build something not only for ourselves, but that creates that legacy that's going to be there for our child. And that starts with a understanding how to do it. Our child has an IUL. We got it for him, excuse me, before he had his medical diagnosis. He couldn't qualify now, but, he puts money in, or we put money in for him month after month after month. And when he gets to 20, 25 years of age, got a lot of money where he can decide what to do. If he wants to go to college, fine. If he wants to start a business, he's got that. I'm giving him opportunity that I didn't have. So we start by taking care of ourselves in-house, and then we go out and preach based on what we've learned and what we've done for our family, how we can set up others. And the three realities of life is longevity, medical bills, and long-term care. Over here at long-term care, we've talked about this before. Government offers no long-term care unless you are in the lower bracket of poor. So all of these things, it's a self-directed environment with retirement, it's a self-directed environment with medical. How are you going to cover yourself? How are you going to make sure that you remain in control throughout your life? Well, we can help you with that. And then as you look forward and as you look to the product side of what we do, you're going to learn strategies to take control of your future. Remember, on the partner, the client side, we preach control. So once you get past this preliminary upfront education, now we can talk about how does, zero market risk, how do you prepare for long-term care? How do you get that tax-deferred growth, tax-free income, tax-free legacy? That's a list of great benefits that most people will say, well, yeah, I would like to know more about that. And the final thing I'm going to leave you guys with today, I know we kind of breezed through that, and we're going to be done a little bit earlier, so we might open up and see if anybody has any questions. But right now, you need to have the mindset as a partner building this business to go get it. You've got tools, you've got infrastructure, you've got assets, you've got a mission, you've got marketing. We help you with personal branding. Everything's in place for you to go attack this industry on the client side, on the partner side, do great things for your clients, do great things for your partners, but also do great things for you. Your goals, your dreams are right there in front of you if you're willing to be organized, be active, learn from your mistakes, and give your efforts time to compound. So we're open. Like I said, I wasn't sure how long those slides were going to take through. I hope that it wasn't too much of the same thing for you guys, but I want to reiterate once again how WealthWave, Virtual Financial, and WFG line up to form your business partnerships that give you everything that you need to go out and make a huge nationwide distribution business in one of the largest industries in the world. Let me grab Alana. We'll open it up for questions. If you guys have any other things that you need, remember, if you're working, we are more than willing to work for you.
Michael, that was a fantastic training. Thank you so much. I really got a lot out of it, and I hope you did too. So let me go ahead and stop the recording, and then we will open up the floor. We did end a little bit early, which is great. Lots and lots of great information. Thank you.